there are also different views or interpretations of what happened. And what we don't yet know is he may well have been armed. And I think I heard, Jonathan, I don't know if you heard the same, but I think I heard them say that they believe the man...
At 19:02 on January 14th, the snow is still falling in North Minneapolis when the first perimeter lights snap on. A black ICE sedan idles crosswise against a crashed silver Corolla, its front wheels buried in a snowbank. Two men are down on the ice, one with a leg wound wrapped in a field dressing, one federal agent handcuffed for his own safety. 10 meters away, a third man sits on the curb, wrists zip-tied, steam rising from his jacket. A Glock magazine and a folded broom lie in the slush. Sirens echo from the 600 block of 24th Avenue North as Minneapolis police units converge from the east. The clock on the agent's body radio reads 19:03:27. Gunfire has already stopped. The surprise is what they find inside the Corolla's trunk: an unregistered handgun, a plastic bag of shell casings, and documents from a Venezuelan consulate. No one on scene knows yet how this connects to what started the night before. On January 13th at 2042, one day earlier, the ICE tactical group designated Falcon 8 moved toward a duplex on the edge of St. Paul. The air temperature was 16 degrees Fahrenheit, wind speed 9 miles per hour, freezing rain turning to snow. The operation's goal was to dismantle a gang called Los Seis, a local branch of a larger weapons pipeline feeding stolen handguns into the interstate corridor. 12 agents deployed. 4 took position at the front, 6 along the alley, and 2 on overwatch atop a detached garage 50 meters back. Each wore a thermal headset synced to Central Command. The radio chatter in the feed at 20:45:02 counts down. 3, 2, 1, breach. A hydraulic ram hits the door at 20:45:18, followed by a flashbang that floods the living room in white light and smoke. Inside the house, resistance is immediate. 2 suspects fire from the hallway with 9mm pistols. Agents respond with 3 controlled bursts, impact sparks from drywall, flash reflections off mirrors, distance 10 meters, visibility near 0. At 20:46:12, gunfire stops. Agents clear the first room, 2 males down, 1 weapon recovered. Voices echo from the back of the house, Spanish and English mixed. Hands. Quieto. Drop it. Then another burst. 4 more rounds, 1 through a window. The drone overhead registers muzzle flash through the roof seam. Time 20:46:27. One agent reports contact rear before returning fire. The entire assault lasts 1 minute and 49 seconds. By 20:47:03, all targets are down or detained. 6 agents sweep the perimeter. The rest move upstairs. On infrared, a single heat signature breaks away through a rear window and vanishes behind the garage. The direction of flight, northeast, bearing 042 degrees. That person never appears again in surveillance. In the report written at 21:05, this missing figure is described as male, mid-20s, possibly Venezuelan. A field analyst attaches the placeholder name Julio Sosa. It's a guess based on an identification card found on the table. The system merges this placeholder with an existing record belonging to another Julio Sosa, the man later shot in Minneapolis. At 21:30, Command confirms 5 suspects in custody, 2 deceased, and 1 missing. Evidence collected includes 7 firearms, 1 kilogram of narcotics, and multiple driver's licenses from several states. A ballistic vest, riddled with holes, is photographed and tagged item F811. Rain continues to fall, freezing as it hits the ground. The agents pull out by 22:15, convoying back to the staging area at 35 miles per hour. the entire operation is logged as successful. The missing suspect file is uploaded at 2300 under case code 13MNICE 1375. The error in identity goes unnoticed because the database syncs automatically overnight. Morning of January 14th, 7:40. Minneapolis wakes under heavy cloud cover. Snow accumulates another 2 inches overnight. At the ICE field office, the overnight upload appears on 3 active terminals. The red threat flag next to the name Julio Sosa Kelly's is visible at 7:41. The briefing that morning lasts 11 minutes. Agents are told to remain alert for any sightings of a gray or silver sedan connected to the prior night's suspects. No one mentions the record duplication. At 9:13, the suspect's vehicle is spotted by a highway camera near Interstate 94, moving westbound at 42 miles per hour. The image is grainy, but clear enough to trigger the automatic system alert. The message pings the screen of the agent later involved in the shooting. From that moment, the day turns into a chain of routine surveillance steps. The agent confirms the plate number at 10:05, runs a database cross-check, and receives the same armed and violent warning. He reports the sighting, updates his patrol route, and continues regular duties. At 13:30, weather reports predict worsening snow by evening. The agent logs the information, unaware that the target profile he's following belongs to a man with no criminal record. Every system reading reinforces the same false data. One missing suspect, armed, dangerous, possibly wounded. The identity confusion is complete before noon. By 1845, snow begins falling again. Streetlights flicker on, halos of orange in the haze. The ICE sedan, call sign Lima 4, moves along 26th Avenue North at 34 miles per hour. A silver Corolla passes ahead, slightly over the speed limit. License plate match confirmed. The agent activates lights, but not siren. The Corolla accelerates, then skids on the icy curve near 24th Avenue, losing control at approximately 40 miles per hour. The front end digs into the snowbank, hood crumpled, steam rising. The driver's door opens. One figure in a dark jacket bolts into the residential area. At 18:48:40, the agent exits his sedan, hand on radio. He calls in pursuit. Lima 4, suspect on foot, male Hispanic, 20 to 25, heading east between houses. The snow muffles his steps, but the camera catches footprints in the beam of his flashlight. Distance shortens to less than 10 meters. The suspect slips, steadies himself, and turns briefly before running again. The agent draws his weapon, but does not fire. Radio burst. Unit 3 inbound from Penn Avenue. Response time 3 minutes. The agent continues alone into a narrow alley lined with fences. At 18:50:11, the suspect reaches a back porch with a dim light. He grabs the railing, shouts something indecipherable in Spanish, and tries the door. The agent yells, "Hands up!" twice, moving closer. Both men collide near the steps and fall. The impact knocks the agent's radio sideways. For several seconds, only wind noise and breathing are recorded. Inside the house, the owner hears the noise, picks up a broom, and steps outside. The camera above the door captures 3 bodies moving in confusion. The homeowner shouts, "Stop!" The agent, on one knee, pivots toward the sound, pistol drawn halfway. The broom swings upward, reflecting light. The agent's audio picks up the words, "Federal officer," muffled by the wind. The next sound is a single gunshot. Flash, recoil, echo. The bullet hits Sosa Silas in the thigh at a downward angle of 38 degrees. He falls, crying out. The broom clatters into the snow. Silence lasts 2 seconds before radio chatter resumes. Officer needs assistance, 24th Avenue North, 1 down. Timestamp 18:50:25. The agent applies pressure to the wound, voice tight with stress. Suspect bleeding conscious. At 18:54, local police units arrive from the east and south. Red strobes cut through the snow haze. Officers approach with rifles low, demanding identification. The agent raises his hands and identifies himself. The suspect lies still, but breathing. The homeowner is taken aside, trembling, hands zip-tied. The temperature continues to fall, 11 degrees. By 1910, 30 to 40 people have gathered. The noise rises, shouting, questions, camera flashes. Someone yells, "He's unarmed." Another voice claims a gun was thrown into the snow. Officers fan out, searching. A plastic shovel, a broken cell phone, and a single footprint trail are found leading toward the alley. The car's trunk is opened at 19:09. Inside, they find a 9mm handgun wrapped in a towel, cold to the touch, slide locked with ice, serial number filed off. The find confirms an armed link, but not the suspect's direct possession. At 2000, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension arrives. Flashlights sweep the street, marking car, casing, blood, broom, and bullet line. Photographs are taken from fixed points, distances logged at 2, 4, and 6 meters. Wind speed now 21 miles per hour. A piece of tape flaps against a cruiser door. At 2012, an ice chunk hits a windshield. Command orders withdrawal. The evidence team retreats, leaving 5 markers behind. The crowd grows angrier. Snow carries the sound like a drum. At 2100, the FBI assumes authority. Radio channels split. The BCA is told to delay collection until federal stabilization. Inside headquarters, a report template populates automatically. Possible connection to Losay's gang, suspect armed. The agent's weapon is seized for analysis, logged at 2140. The suspect, Sosa Silas, is transported to Hennepin County Medical Center at 2210. Doctors classify his condition as serious but stable. A second officer is treated for bruises and frostbite. By midnight, the snow has stopped. Street temperature 10 degrees. 2 DHS vehicles idle near the scene for recovery of remaining personnel. Fireworks pop from a distant street, mistaken for gunfire. Crowd control units deploy tear gas at 012. Footage later shows 2 federal cars struck by rocks, windows shattered. Federal convoys retreat southbound at 45 miles per hour toward the interstate. The last state patrol unit leaves at 1:05. Morning of January 15th, 8:10. The sun breaks through briefly, reflecting off packed snow. Investigators return to measure trajectory with laser pointers. 1 bullet path, downward, 2.7 meters distance, velocity 900 feet per second. They collect fibers from the porch railing, 3 spent shell casings from crowd weapons fired later that night, and samples of snow with blood traces. At 9:27, all evidence is logged. At 11 o'clock, the FBI refuses to release the agent's name. The BCA files a request for forensic data and receives no reply. By early afternoon, 1500, the city calms, but tension remains visible. Barricades line the street. Locals walk dogs along the sidewalk, stopping to watch technicians in white suits. Wind picks up again, scattering snow dust across the pavement. The broom remains frozen into the porch steps, an orange marker stuck beside it. Inside an unmarked van, investigators discuss chain of custody, timestamps, and missing footage. At 1720, they seal the scene with tape for one final inspection scheduled next morning. January 16th, 0800. A joint team from BCA and local police enters the house under new authorization. They recover a knife under the porch, blade 3 inches, no prints. Outside, they find fresh tire tracks consistent with a federal sedan. Infrared cameras mounted on drones scan residual heat in the snowpack. 2 human-sized signatures lingering from the previous night's activity. At 10:14, BCA Command forwards a complaint to the State Attorney General citing lack of cooperation. The document's subject line reads, "Dual investigation overlap." At 1200, the FBI replies formally, "Information withheld pending federal clearance." The standoff solidifies. For the next 8 hours, both sides process their own evidence in isolation. Local analysts reconstruct the pursuit using street cameras and witness statements. Federal logs show parallel entries but different conclusions. One calls the shot defensive, the other calls it avoidable. Both reference the same time, 18:50-25. By evening, 2000, temperatures fall below 10 degrees. The cordon narrows to half a block. Streetlights cast sharp reflections on the ice. One patrol car remains at idle, engine running to prevent freeze. News crews withdraw. Inside the command tent, final measurements confirm bullet angle, weapon model, and distance. None of it explains the origin of the threat tag that caused the chase. By 22:30, reports close for the day. January 17th, 0745. Snowplows clear 24th Avenue. The porch is patched with plywood, bloodstains covered by frost. The air is still, -6 degrees. Officers collect final markers, pack equipment, and reopen traffic at 1420. The last public update states, investigation ongoing. Behind closed doors, digital files remain mismatched. The number 190225 stands unaltered across both databases, federal and state. One line of data linking 2 days of error, pursuit, and silence. Nothing else moves. The snow holds the imprint of the collision that physics, timing, and miscommunication combined to create.